Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make a fading door using the Wirescript system. So first things first, you're going to go to Build Tools, then you're going to click Build Mode. Alright, once you're in Build Mode, you're going to have a menu over here, and this is how you can switch between different tools. So what you do is, I'm going to show you my controller. This button, if you hold down, it will go up on the build menu, and this button, when you hold down, it'll go down on the build menu. So when you see me going through these tools here, like this, I'm just like holding up or down those like buttons. So let's start off with like a door prop. Let's spawn that in. So to select a prop, you have to go in the menu, choose whatever prop you want, and then go down to the spawn prop tool, and then yeah, so to do this rotation thing, so just to show you, if I press right trigger it spawns it, but to do this rotation thing that I'm doing right now, you have to just lay your finger on Y or X. You don't actually press in on it, you just like lay your finger on it. And so when I lay my finger on X, it does this, on Y it rotates that way, and if I lay my finger on B, it switches between snap or smooth rotate mode. So right now it's smooth mode, or if I lay my finger on B, then it's snap mode. And I'm not pressing B, I'm just laying my finger on it. So, alright, so we have our door prop here. And then we're gonna do a let's do a button and let's do a keypad so we can show how both work in action. So this will be the stuff where, like, if you press a button, the door fades. If you type in a code on the keypad, then door fades, right? And then we're going to need a fading door module and a script module, which is right here. It's right there. Script. Okay, so basically, to do fading doors, you're gonna have to have this fading door module here, and it's gonna have to be a parent of whatever prop you want to fade. So there's this tool here, as you can see, it's called parent, and the parent tool has two modes. It has the mode where you actually parent stuff. Right now it says no parent selected. And then there's another mode called remove parent. And to switch those modes, you just lay your finger in A. Do not press A. Do not click in on it. Just lay your finger on it. It uses your controller's capacitive touch sensor to detect if you're switching modes. So basically, for this tool to parent one thing to another, the first thing you do is you select parent. So now it says parent selected. And then you select the prop. And as you see, now that it's parented, look, it's moving with it. So that's good. We got that part of the step done. So whatever code we do that triggers this fading door to set the children fade, it's going to fade its children props, which in this case we did the door here. Alright, so let's just put it right here. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the button. We're going to click Open Script, Open Logic Palette. If you don't open the script, you will not see anything happen. So you have to, if you're going to work on anything with the wire system, you have to open up its script. So, like I said, open logic palette. And when you're on wire mode, sorry, I actually didn't even mention that. You have to go to wire mode to do this stuff. So it's a tool. It's called wire, and you'll see a red pointer, and you'll go up and you'll click something, and you'll see close script, open logic palette. I already talked about that. And then you'll see events and other wireables. So let's click events. It's a drop down, and you'll see on the drop down there's going to be a button pressed event. So sorry, the purge alarm's kind of low. So there's going to be a button pressed event, and what you do is you put your pointer over it and you hold down trigger. So I'm holding down trigger, I'm dragging it, and bam, just release it. So basically what happens is if any player goes up and tries to grab it, this code here is going to fire. And what happens when you click it, this code fires, and this white pin is like the execution. It's what it's how it executes other code. And then this down here, this is the name of the player. And you can actually see these things here. I'll show you. So I'll show you kind of how like the wiring works. So basically, you put the tip of the red pointer in here, and it highlights the pin. And then if you hold down trigger, it can pull out a wire. And you'll see in a second we'll be wiring stuff. And then the other thing I want you to know is when you hold down, like when you drag out the wire, if you just lay your finger on B, this button right here, if you just lay your finger on it, don't click it, just lay your finger on it. If you lay your finger on B, your menu pops up and it tells you what the pin is. It tells you the function it's part of, the button pressed event. You can see right here, button pressed event, and it tells you the pin, player who pressed. And that's really useful if you want to know what pins do and stuff. So, alright, so we'll just put the keypad aside for right now. We're just going to do a button that when you press it, it fades the door. So now what we have to do is to fade this door, we're gonna need to probably do a script. So we're gonna have to call a function in the script, and then the script is gonna call the fading door thing. So as always, you go up, you click the script, make sure you always open script, because if you don't do that and you start spawning nodes, you won't even see the nodes there. So then you do open logic palette. And here, you can see a lot more stuff here. So scripts can do a lot of things. But for today, we're not really going to do much of anything here. Actually, later on in the tutorial, I'm going to show you something with timers so that you can have it where it fades and then... hold on. Just wait a second. It's going up. Yeah, so as I was saying, you're going to use timers to where... when you click the button, it fades, and then the timer gets called, and then like in 5 seconds or something.
Unidentified person of interest. Confirm your civil status with local protection team.
Probably should have just played on an empty server long. But yeah, the timer will unfade it. So yeah, we're in the script. So we go create function. That's how we're gonna get to where when I press the button, it goes and jumps over to the script. So we'll name this like open door. And also very important, when you make a function, you have to type stuff in the name. If you do not type anything here in the name, the system basically will break. The system's very much work in progress. I should have made a thing where like it wouldn't even let you create a function if you didn't type something in there. But yeah, it's work in progress. So make sure you type something in there. And if you don't type anything, basically everything's going to break. Okay, so now we can create this function. And this is actually a drag drop operation. So if I just hold down trigger, you can see my function here. And then we can go put it right here, drop it. And then, let's see here, let's just make it look a little nice. So I'm using the move rotate prop tool. So basically this tool just lets you move things around. I guess I kind of showed it a little bit earlier over there. But basically, if you don't know how this tool works, when you just hold trigger, it can move stuff. You can reel stuff in and out. And you do that by just laying your finger on wire X. So it just reels stuff. And then if you want to rotate it, while you're holding it, this controller here, you hold down left grip, and then it just starts matching the rotation of your left hand. So that's really useful for like, okay, now like say if I wanted my function here, I could just rotate it and make it look nice over here. And if you want to go into snap rotate mode, you have to just lay your finger on B. So then, go lay my finger on B, and look, now it's in snap mode. Now it's like looking really nice, Okay, so that's basically how that little tool works. Okay, but now back to the code. So what we want to do is we want this button when you press it to jump over to this function, and then in this function we'll do that stuff. So actually a really important thing I want to tell you guys about is when you have your wire tool out, you're going to see, like, when you hover over a node, you're going to see, like, this blue laser, and it's telling you, this blue laser, the whole point of why I made that is to tell you this is part of the button's context. So this button, basically, if you try to, like, wire any nodes that are part of its context to something of another context, see, the laser's going to the script. If you try to wire this, it would not work. Wait, hold on, sorry. If you try to wire this, see, it says cannot connect wire to another wireable's node. Use function calls. So basically, the system, if you want to go jump to another script or something, or any other thing, you have to do it through basically an approved way, which is through function calls. So you go to your button, open logic palette, other wireables, and you click your function, or sorry, you click your script, and you'll see your functions here. So then you can just drag it out, drop it, and just leave that menu. And if there's any problems where, like, you'll be like, here, I'll actually show you. Just a quick little thing I want to show you guys. If you have any problems where, like, you're like trying to click something and it's like, oh, what the heck, why is my wire tool not working? It's because this dialog box is still up on your menu or something. And you could fix that by, like, just basically you could click commands and they could just reset it. So now it works if I click the script. That's a thing, confuses people, and yeah, it's something I should just fix, but like I said earlier, it's a work in progress. So yeah, we dragged our function out here. So as you can see, these two are part of the same context. So what we can do is we actually can wire it because now it's part of the same context. And that's how we can go jump to other contexts, is through using function calls. So now what happens is when I press the button, this thing, this white pin, basically tells it when this runs, okay, the next thing you're going to run is this. And it's like kind of like a domino chain. First domino falls, this would be the first domino, and then this would then hit the next domino, the second domino, and then this would hit next the third domino here. It's like the white pins, they're not data at all. They're just execution. They're telling, okay, when this runs, then whatever it's connected to next runs, whatever this connects to next runs, and it goes from left to right. So this is like an input pin, and this is like an output. Or no, sorry. This is an output pin. This is an input, sorry. Basically, to the right of the node is going to be outputs, and to the left of the node is going to be the inputs. So yeah, basically, we've now gotten into this function. When we click this, bam, goes over here, then bam, goes over here. So now it's time to start fading the door. So we're going to go to the script, open logic palette. We're going to click other wireables, because we need to go get the fading door function. And then click that. And now look, it says set children fade. Drag this out. Bam. Just close out of that. And then so what we can do is wire the beginning of this to that, and then this will run this set children fade function. And right now, if I do something, nothing's going to happen. And the reason why nothing's happening is because this is set to false. So false means false, no fading, you know. It's a little bit confusing because it's like, you would think like 0 means fade and 1 means not fade. I don't know. But basically this here is it's a red pin, and red pins are booleans. And if you don't know like what booleans are basically just, it's a piece of data that can only be true or false. It's not like a number that can be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just basically it can only be 0 or 1. And so this system, when it's 0, it's false. When it's 1, it's true. So if you wanted to change this, what you can do is you can drag out the pin, lay your finger on B, lay your finger on this button here, and when you lay your finger on B, bam, it shows the stuff about this pin. And so you can see here, it's run external built-in function, which basically is just saying it's going to go run some external thing, which is this. Not too important, but more importantly right here it says pin fading question mark. And so that's the, is this fading currently? variable. And so if I wanted to have this set to true, I go here, change this to 1, and then just apply. And then so now you can see here, it's set to 1. And if I go here, it's now faded. Now, that's nice. Like, you got a fading door, and you could totally just make another button and maybe another function or something, and it could have it where, you know, it's set to 0 for the other function, and then, you know, it goes back to not being faded. You could totally do that. That's why I designed the system this way. It's to be very universal, to do whatever idea you wanted. But let's say we wanted like a traditional fading door. So basically, if you wanted a traditional fading door, the logic goes that when you press a button or a keypad, you know, it fades, and then about like, you know, like 5 seconds later, it like goes back to being normal like this. So to do that, you're going to need a timer. A timer, basically what it does is you tell it to, like, you know, in 5 seconds, you know, call a timer event. So if you click script, open logic palette, go to timers, and you'll see it says timers, set timer, timer event. So you can go set timer, timer event. Man, these people are so annoying. I think they stopped. Okay, so basically you're going to spawn in these two nodes, set timer and timer event. You're just going to drag them out here. And this is part of the script. As you can see, click the script, open logic palette, timers, time. Man, these people are so annoying. So basically you wire this in. So this what happens is after it fades. Dude, shut up. I'm filming a tutorial. Shut up. Leave. Okay. So, oh my god, these people are so annoying. Basically, you're gonna put it into here. So you're gonna tell it to set the timer. And then these two values you can drag out, and then just let your finger on B. You can see that's the amount of time until this thing's going to run. And then this here is looping. So if it's set to 1, it's going to every, you know, in this case, every 1 second, this thing's going to run. So we can go to 5. We'll set it to 5 seconds, and then no looping actually. So we won't even do that. So basically what happens is when the store open function runs, it's going to fade it, and then set timer in 5 seconds. It's going to then call this in 5 seconds. And, oops, sorry. So yeah, and dude, shut up. I'm filming a video. Shut up. Leave. You fucking idiot, dude. Okay, I'm just gonna turn off my audio. Or I can... Okay. So that should be good now. So basically, man, these people are so distracting. So basically, you run set children fade, set timer to 5 seconds, and then basically what happens after 5 seconds, this is going to run. So you're going to then basically do this, but in the other direction. So then you're going to go to the script, open logic palette, other variables, and then you're going to click this, and it's going to give you the set children fade, and then drop it. And then you can put it right here, put it right there, and actually our script is done now. So if you see, if we, just before we actually run this, we can logically run through this. The button pressed event is going to run when I click this, and then it's going to go run this next, because the white wires basically say, okay, when this runs, whatever the white wire is connected to is the next thing it's going to run. And then when you do that, it jumps all the way over to here, and then runs the fade, which is going to fade it. and because it's set to 1, and then it tells it to start a timer, and in 5 seconds, this is the amount of time, in 5 seconds you're going to run this thing here, the timer event, and then once 5 seconds has passed, this thing's going to run, and then the pin's going to jump over to here, and it's going to say 0, which is mean don't fade at all. So now we can test it and we can see. So if I click it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep, and it fades. So yeah, that's basically how you do that. I'll actually show you now how to do it with the keypad. So it's going to be much easier now with the keypad. So you just click it, click OpenScript, always do that. Click Open Logic Palette. You'll see 2 events here, keypad accept event, keypad deny event. Basically, if you get the code right, it's going to be a keypad accept. If you get the code wrong, it's going to be a keypad deny. So a whole bunch of stuff you could do there. So you can drag it out. And then what you're going to do, you're going to click other wireables on this keypad, and you're going to go call that function. So we're going to go click the script, and we can find the function there. Then drop open door, and then wire that in, and then the default code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and should see that work. Yep. And in about 5 seconds it should come back because all of our code here is running. Yep, and it does. And just to show you how to change the code on the keypad, I know it's very bad. Basically, what you have to do to change the code on the keypad right now, as of now, is you have to go to you have to spawn down a button, as you can see I just did. Open the button script, and then button pressed event, drag that out, click other wireables, click the keypad, then click set code. And basically what's going to happen is when I click this button here, it's going to set whatever code I set here in this function. So as always, wire the white pins, and then I'm just going to lay my finger in B to look at its value, and then I don't know, I'll set it to like 4, 5, 7, 8 or something, and then apply. I'll click this, and then 4, 5, 7, 8. So it works. And that's how you can change the code. And then you can just remove this button later when you don't need it, because maybe you don't want someone clicking this button or something. Who knows? So yeah, that's basically how you do a fading door with the current iteration of Wirescript. And yeah, that's it, guys. Nice seeing you.